Really impressed with that. That is the exact setup of this traffic light stop. There's lights there, and then there's lights here, and cars can come in between. Welcome back everybody to Tesla Driver. I hope you're doing very well. Today we've got a very special video indeed. 2020.8.1 has hit here in the UK, and that has given us, as you can just about see coming up, driver visualization preview. So this is the full self-drive driver visualization preview. It doesn't affect autopilot itself at all. So you can see here, look, we got green lights. It is working. It is working, everyone. So yeah, it doesn't actually change how the car drives. It doesn't drive it better, and it doesn't allow you to be any less attentive. It literally does just mean that some new cool stuff is showing up. Now, in 2020.8.1, there is also track mode 2, Bluetooth improvements for your phone, voice command improvements, along other things, but this is by far the biggest thing, and what we're gonna focus on today. I am, of course, gonna look at all the other stuff for you in later videos. Anyway, driver visualization. What is included? Stop signs, traffic lights, arrows and markings on the road. What else? I think that's kind of actually it. Oh, and bins and rubbish bins. Probably rubbish bins is actually the biggest one. And what have I noticed so far? Well, it picks up bins. You see those bins over there? Like an absolute god. I've literally just driven from my house to come film this. We're gonna drive straight through the city of Hereford, and we're gonna have about a 15-20 minute drive having a look at these visualization updates, and I'm going to try and do autopilot as well as much as I can for you. So we'll keep our eyes peeled here. I've cropped in the screen or the video so you guys can see this a little bit more clearly. I will be actually tinting the back windows kind of soon, so that all this glare, and also I'll tint the side windows, this glare hopefully then will stop. So although there's signs like that for speed bumps and other stuff, there is nothing actually recording any of the signs like that. It is only picking up stop signs. It doesn't pick up any other type of sign. And I actually don't know where we have a stop sign here in the UK. We have those kind of signs, do not enter signs that look similar. Oh, look at this. Sorry, it's picking up the traffic lights. Oh, that looks so cool. Okay, so there's a red sign over there that looks like a stop sign. I wonder if that'll pick it up. Doesn't look like it. It's picked up the bins. It's picking up the cones. I've got to obviously take control here. No, it didn't pick that up as a stop sign, which it shouldn't. It's not a stop sign, so that kind of makes sense. And look again, the traffic lights appearing, and it appears green. Now, I don't know if it updates quickly or well, so we're gonna have to have a look and see how fast or slow the Navigate on Autopilot actually updates it, whether it goes amber red or if it just stays at green, flicks to red. And I also want to see if it shows, you know, some of them have those like little arrows in the green or in the orange or in the red. I would love it to actually show that and show those little nuances that will make obviously a big difference for it to be full self-driving. So we've got red lights coming up here. And again, the car, yeah, the car is picking them up as red. And now let's see, is it going to, oh no, I've totally buggered it. How do I make it go upwards? There we go. Oh, red, green. Oh, okay. So maybe it just goes straight from red to green, and it seems to, or at least there, it seemed to miss out amber. Or maybe I didn't see it because I was playing with the controls. Okay, let's keep our eyes peeled then for any kind of bins or anything like that. The car has picked the right-hand lane, which is actually the correct lane that I wanted it to go in. And here we go. We're coming up to a right-hand arrow and a forward-facing arrow. So you can clearly see, yeah, that is a right-hand arrow underneath our car now. And I did see the left-hand arrow going left as well slightly. So what can I see from here? I can see 2 traffic lights up there, and then I can see 2 traffic lights kind of over on that side. The car's picked up the traffic light far away, or at least it did, and it's picked up this close one. But interestingly enough, it's not actually showing any, why every time I try and zoom in, does it zoom out? It's not showing any color on that one. And that one's just turned green. Ours have just turned green. And yeah, it has picked that up. So it has picked up that ours turned to green. Okay, yeah, autopilot aborted then, as you saw, because I kind of had it on. I was just letting it go as far as it wanted. But it doesn't like going junctions and stuff like that. So going down these city roads, yeah, it's working nicely. I need to get into the right-hand lane here, but it won't do a lane change, obviously, without me initiating it still. which is a shame. And again, I still can't quite figure out when it will let you do the lane changes and when it doesn't let you do the lane changes. So it is quite annoying that it still won't do that. So we've got some more traffic lights coming up ahead here, and these are just standard pedestrian crossings. So there's 3 lights that it's showing, and yeah, it is showing them all on here. Again, I'm zooming in. How do I move across? There we go. Oh, look at that. There you go. So you can actually see there. I hope you guys can see that. You can see the lights, and it's showing both of those 2 as green, which obviously is correct. But then this light over here, oh, it is showing it as green as well. And I actually can't see that light being green from here. So I assume because the cameras are higher up, it's showing that they're green. Here we go. I've just copped the people next to me just kind of watching my screen and being like, oh, it's kind of doing it all itself. So yeah, the traffic lights there looked all good. And again, the car is following this around the corner. The arrows were picked up on the screen as well. And the car can actually do this well, but as you can see here, it's a little bit busy. And even I was a little bit confused there, so I had to take back control. Look at all the lights. There's so many lights, and they're all showing up. And these are the little ones with the arrows on it that I was mentioning earlier. And I didn't actually see, sadly, on here whether it was picking up the arrows or not. In the lights, that is. It picked up all the arrows on the floor and everything, but I would really like it to pick up those arrows on the lights if it can. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to really zoom in at one. Hopefully we'll stop at one and I can zoom straight in. So again, coming up to a stop here. Let's see how well it's gonna stop. Really nice and smooth now. So it is sticking in the correct lane, which is great, and then picking up all of those lights and picking them all up as green. So that's brilliant. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled again. Oh, it's picking up cones for some reason on the side, but there definitely wasn't cones there. I'm looking for any arrows on the floor, and I want those to be picked up. Let's see, so we've got forward-facing arrows coming up here. That was good. It picked the middle lane nicely, nice and confident. No, there it was trying to swap lanes. It was trying to go over into that lane, as you kind of saw. So I took control and turned it off there. So we've got some text on the floor. Is it going to pick up the text? No, it doesn't pick up any of the text. Now that really would be impressive if it was able to pick up all the text. And I don't see why it can't, because obviously just being a language, I've got to stop here for that car. So again, the car wasn't able quite to see that, so I had to take control. And we're gonna go, let's go straight through the center. Why not? Let's give it the ultimate test and see how it fares. There's a lot of traffic, whoa. Okay, here we go. And again, we are looking for a stop sign. That is the goal here, is to eventually find a stop sign. There's a bus, so we're just gonna swap lanes real quick. And then I'll tuck back in behind this Mini. And here we go. So it's picking up all of the lights here. Sadly, none of them have arrows in. So even if I zoom, oh wow, it's even if I zoom in, yeah, it's not. So it's just showing them all as red, as you can see there. And even is it catching the ones at the back there? Yeah, it is. It is. Look at that. It's 2 there right at the back. So it is picking up pretty much everything that we can see, to be totally honest. I'm really, really impressed with that. That is the exact setup of this traffic light stop. There's lights there, and then there's lights here, and cars can come in between. And it's even picked up one specific car, the Golf over there. It's picked up the Golf that is sat in between the lights. There we go. Amber, red, green, green. So like they kind of got it, and then they kind of didn't. A bit 50-50. And then again, green lights. Yeah, it is seeing the green lights, and it is going through this area nicely. I can hear an ambulance, but I don't quite know where the ambulance is yet. So I'm just gonna wait. Oh, the ambulance is behind us. Okay, yeah, the ambulance is behind us. So we'll just let it go by. Nice. That was handy. This car in front just kind of let us do that, so it just stopped for us. So here, arrows, it's picking up all the arrows really nicely. Wasn't expecting that car to go down there. Didn't even know you could go down there, to be honest. And let's come out this way. Again, I don't know where to go to find stop signs. I'm really quite stumped on where to find stop signs around here. Ready? Okay, so it's green with an arrow. Is it showing an arrow? No, it's not. It's not showing an arrow. I feel disappointed. Maybe if we get a little bit closer. No, still not showing an arrow. Just showing a green light. Oh, that's such a shame. I honestly thought that was going to be able to show like an arrow or something. As we get close, no, it's not. No, it's definitely not. So all it shows is green to go, which for now obviously is fine. We don't need it to show anything else just yet. But as we go forward, it will need to know whether it's talking about going forward or right or left, or at least what the green light's trying to tell it. So here we've got a very little detail on these lines on the right. You can see, oh, it does show it. So they're a forward-facing arrow, and then it's got a slight right turn, and the car is in fact showing it. And I think, again, that is really, really impressive. I don't know what this car is trying to do behind me. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? I have no idea what this guy... What is this guy trying to do? Hold on, let's get that reg. There you go. I have no idea what that guy was trying to do. Random ass dude, man. Strange. I mean, I couldn't even, like, the car was driving itself, so I mean, that's, I guess, an area where that kind of thing is going to happen. And like, I'm like, well, the car's driving itself. He actually came from the other side of the road and was some reason like literally not even parallel, the opposite of parallel across the road. So going forward here, you can see it's picking up all these lines, all these lights really well, and it's decided to actually take us left here. So I'm going to follow it left and just see what is down here. Oh, you know what? I know what might work. There might be stop signs in the train station. It doesn't look like there's any stop signs down here at all. I found another one of those arrow tests. So coming up here, this arrow pointing left. So this is a perfect example. You can't go forward or right, but you can go left. And I don't know if the car, no, the car actually didn't pick up any green lights there. Really interesting. It didn't show that kind of slight change in a light. So you saw as the light was like a normal 3 structure with then 1 to the side. It didn't actually show that 1 to the side at all. So I wonder if that's something that it needs to update and find out how to sort as well, because not all lights are obviously like this. They're not all just green, red and amber and nothing else. They do sometimes have another, what do you call it, another light, I guess, or another direction, or whatever you want to call it. So it's going to a slowdown there. Really interesting. It actually decided to slow down and then speed up after those lights, almost as if it didn't know whether they were red or green. And it was like, oh, hold on, I'll just slow up for a second. I'm not actually sure if it can stop for you at lights at all, but that was like an interesting little bit. Bloody roundabouts. That's going to be the interesting one, is when it tries to figure out roundabouts. That's going to be really intriguing. So as it said in the information, when you have to obviously you have to turn on autopilot, but then you have to turn on the driver visualization. And when you turn that on, there is a huge warning that says you still need an attentive driver. This won't do X, Y, and Z. But I didn't read if it said it would or wouldn't stop it. I think it's just literally is just a visualization, so it is just kind of showing you what's up. Again, here we're coming up to some traffic behind these lights, and the car's sitting a little bit further away from them, but it is coming up. Now we're actually going kind of straight here, whereas those cars went that way. And oh, nearly, the Tesla thought about going this way from the start, but then I think it changed its mind like last minute. So you can see it's picking up some bins here on the left, which is good. Let's see if it picks up this cyclist in front. Still not picking him up. It's still not picking him up, you know. There we go. Wow, that was really delayed. I have noticed that about cyclists, and I never, as you saw there, I never turn my autopilot on around cyclists because it just doesn't seem to pick them up at the moment, or at least I don't see it picking it up. And I know that some people say, yeah, it doesn't always show it, but it doesn't need to show it all. Well, it kind of does when it comes to a cyclist and the car is going on to, you know, its autonomy mode of sorts. So yeah, picking up all the bins here nicely. Again, we've got some lights, so it's picking up the lights. Got a car on the road, and it's not deciding to go like miles around it. It kind of got quite close to it. Van's turning left, so the car is slowing down for him, and then it accelerating on and out of the city. So that is pretty much, you know, everything I can kind of show you in the visualization update. We will do a little bit more of a drive down here. It's accelerating very slowly. Really doesn't want to get up to 60, but there we go. Okay, now it's starting to accelerate. So we've got some cones there. It almost felt that as it was going down the hill, it didn't want to like accelerate fast, and it waited to get down to the bottom. Now what I am intrigued to know is if it's going to show these lines at all. So here in the UK, we've got arrows pointing back to our road, and that basically means get in, you can't overtake in a minute. Like that. Is it going to show it? No, didn't show it. No, didn't show it. We've got some cars coming over at our side there. You can see that the car did start to brake itself, but not quite quick enough for my liking. And I brought it down to 30 instead myself. I'm just on the hunt for, oh, bins. I'm not on the hunt for bins, but I'm on the hunt for stop signs. Oh, we've got cones. Yeah, it's picking up the cones and a bin. Very nice. And I haven't been able to find any stop signs in the city at all. So maybe we need to come out to the kind of countryside and more older areas, and they might have some stop signs. At least that's what I'm hoping. Again, another bin here. Yeah, it's picking it up. It's picking up the bins so well. I wish it picked up the cyclists just as well as that. I honestly wish it showed everything it saw at all times. I don't see the point in it hiding what it can see, if that makes sense. Okay, no stop signs down there. I was expecting there, because they were quite kind of harsh bends, I was expecting there to be a stop sign of some sorts. Oh my God, that pothole though. The noises. So I've already got like a kink in my car, in the alloy, and you can tell when it hits that inner pothole, it just makes that hideous noise. Oh, like that. Like that. Find any stop signs anywhere here in Hereford or the surrounding areas. We're getting loads of bins, and we've got these. So you see that little triangle with nothing in it? Sometimes it says give way in it, and that's our stop signs. Here we go, we've got two more coming up here. So rather than just saying stop, it literally says give way, which, you know, it just means you have to give way. So hopefully in the very near future, these, or maybe these for you guys, oh, it's picking up a cone, it thinks that might be a cone. Hopefully those will sometime soon come through as a stop sign. I continued looking for a stop sign for about an hour after that, and I honestly couldn't find anything, so I gave up. What I'm showing you now is a little bit of a clip before I got out and started filming. This was me driving through kind of a residential area, and it got my mind thinking that this really is the next big thing it needs to be able to tackle. A road with no markings, cars everywhere, and it has no idea really where it should be going. Autopilot simply will not work in this scenario at all. So the visualizations today that we saw were awesome. Really, really cool, really nice to see, and thank you for including us in the UK and the rest of the EU in your visualization improvements. But how and when are we going to get this update that will tackle this? A roundabout with a bus stop and a bus on it. And we've got to come off an area onto like a single road through a tunnel. I mean, you know, this is going to be the next big step. Let me know down below in the comments what you think, and whether we're actually going to be able to ever see this car do all of this bit, just this one clip, without me touching the wheel. Until next time, hit the like button, comment down below, and don't forget, drive safe.